welcome to LittleHouseOnline.com. Sal Says What. I'm obviously Sal, and today I want to talk about a book, but before I do so, I want to share with you some wonderful news. We are being sponsored by a group called ComicFix.com. It's an in-browser comic book store where you can pick up hundreds of independent titles for one flat subscription fee. You can find terrific independent books and just go nuts for one fee. It's terrific stuff. I've got a couple of titles on there too. You can check them out. You can just look me up and you'll find them there. So go to ComicFix.com to learn more about that. And of course, don't forget to stop by FunnyRama.com to learn more about this great comic book retailer if you want to get some physical, actual floppies out in your world. Today, I want to talk about a collected volume. It's a trade paperback of the classic story that is the basis for the upcoming X-Men movie, X-Men Days of Future Past, from Chris Claremont and John Byrne. This is, for many people, the dream team of X-Men creators. You've got Chris Claremont, who's like the X-Men architect. He's the guy who introduced the new X-Men in Wolverine, Nightcrawler, Colossus. He is the guy who created basically the definitive team of X-Men. Forget Cyclops and Angel and Jean Grey. No, these are the X-Men that you care about and want to read more about. And Days of Future Past does an amazing job of reintroducing you to those characters, tying the X-Men to the broader Marvel Universe, and John Byrne, of course, is unmatched in his depiction of these characters, with the exception possibly of David Cockrum. John Byrne is completely unmatched when it comes to his depiction of classic Marvel, at least classic as I see it. The story of Days of Future Past, the question is, does it kind of hold up? Chris Claremont's writing doesn't always hold water for me, and as a guy who got into comics back when this story was kind of very, very popular, the Phoenix Saga as well, it's very wordy, it's very explanatory, very expository. He really kind of chooses 8 words when 3 might do. You know, he's a terrific author and tells a great story, but the dialogue just is a little bit dated, a little bit stilted. Does the story hold up? I'm kind of interested to see what the movie does with it, and what devices they keep and what devices they kind of ignore. I love the tying into the grander Marvel Universe. You got Doctor Strange in there, who's dealing with the magic mumbo-jumbo that is actually a big part of X-Men Days of Future Past. You have the Kitty Pryde character, who I hope is, if she's not going to be as prominent a figure in the movie as she is in the book, I hope that at least she gets some wonderful moments to really shine, because she deserves that much. I love John Byrne's depiction of Kitty Pryde. Actually, my favorite incarnation of the character is found in Days of Future Past. If you want to take an old school trip down memory lane, I suggest picking up the collected volume of X-Men Days of Future Past. If you want to get your friends into Marvel Comics or into X-Men in general, I don't know if I would show them this right away. I think I'd take them to the movie and then kind of go, it's straight from different places. If it's really, really cool, because I haven't seen it yet, hopefully it will get people to read X-Men and get them interested in the story without alienating them, without making things seem more complicated or less complicated than they might be. I would not recommend giving this to a layman. I would certainly introduce it on a show like Back Issues, but I would not probably give it to them with the intention of hoping that they'll read more comics afterwards. I think it'd be very scary and daunting. However, over time, I think that they could definitely get reintroduced to the Marvel Universe and to X-Men in general through this book. I think it'd be a welcome stop along the way through these stories. I think I might introduce people to X-Men by using Astonishing X-Men by Joss Whedon. I think that was probably the most gateway for people. It's a recommend from me. Pick up the trade paperback of X-Men Days of Future Past before the movie comes out, and reacquaint yourself with the story and see just how completely different the movie is from the book. I want to thank you all for watching. Of course, you can click the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You can stop by LittleHouseOnline.com to learn more about what we do here, and you can visit FunnyRama.com to learn more about this great comic book store that I love so much. And of course, don't forget to stop by ComicFix.com to check out all these great independent titles for like one fee. It's like hundreds of dollars of comics that you can get for like one flat fee. Check it out and let me know what you think. What's your favorite title from Comic Fix? Let me know in the comments below and we'll chat about it. I'll share with you. And by the way, bonus points if you pick up my book. So we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.